Indisputably, boys, the biggest topic of conversation in Leafs Nation right now is Auston Matthews. Despite all the injury concerns, going to Munich, going to see a doctor, still has 11 goals. Just shows you how filthy this guy truly is. It reminds me of the bum wrist season a couple years ago where he still managed to have 40 tucks. But I wanted to ask you guys this question, and Zach, we'll start with you. How should the Leafs handle this injury situation moving forward? Like, are you in favor of a complete shutdown for the next little while here?
Yeah, I am. The issue is like it seems like it's probably his back here, right? It takes the cross check against Buffalo. Gilbert, I think, was the defenseman who hits him low back. That obviously re-aggravates it, but he hadn't looked right ahead of then. Goes to Germany to do this treatment, like comes back. It's only a month, whatever, 9 games that he missed. Still doesn't look right. What is the point of going through a regular season and playing these games if you're not going to be at 100% health? Obviously, the team is much better with him than without him, no matter how many crazy ideas people might get here. But it's like you are not helping the team if you just wimp your way into the playoffs because you just had to play in the regular season, put up whatever numbers. They are going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs, even if Auston Matthews doesn't play throughout the rest of the season. I strongly believe that. They've set themselves up here in a good spot so far to open this season. Take as long as you need. The Tampa Bay Lightning got to the playoffs without Nikita Kucherov playing and showed up day one of the playoffs. I know it's maybe a little bit of a different situation there, but like take the time, get yourself healthy. Maybe it opens up cap space and you go pull a Vegas Golden Knights and go get somebody huge at the deadline. Like who knows? But the ultimate, like the biggest, most important thing here is that he is ready to go day one of the playoffs. And I think if he forces his way back into this lineup through the regular season at anything less than 100%, I'm even talking 99, it is a waste of time and only hurts the Maple Leafs in the long run.
Yeah, and I think with the position they're in right now, as you mentioned, like where they are in the playoffs, how many wins they have, the kind of hockey they're playing, how much season is left. If you get up to, snugged up against the playoffs and this guy's still hurt and he hasn't taken the time to fix or to at least try to fix his problems, you're going to look back at the time before Christmas and say, what the hell were we doing? Like we're screwed now. You need him. He's going to be the guy that is a big factor if they make a run. He's going to score the big goals. He's going to get the tie-up goal. He's going to score the first goal of the game. He's going to get the OT winner. Like you need that guy in the lineup for those type of situations. And if you abuse him right now for absolutely no reason, you're winning without him. There's lots of runway left. You're in a good position in the standings. Like there's absolutely no reason to be working this guy this hard. And I don't know, you go back to training camp and like hurt it then at some point in time, I think they were saying, and then just rode him a little, and then he took some. I hate everything about it. And now that it's out in the open and it's clearly a problem, the biggest problem the Leafs have, let's just squash it by taking as much bloody time as you need to fix the problem because we just can't be talking about this in April.
Yeah, I agree. I hate to fall in line here. I wish I had something to go against you guys, but it's 100% true, right? This is a superstar, and you have to treat him like a superstar, right? When playing in the league, like we always talk about, we're equal. Everyone gets the same thing. It doesn't work that way. This guy is an absolute stud, an absolute superstar. He makes a huge difference in your lineup, and you need him to be 100% healthy because the other side of it, he plays hard minutes too. He's going to be matchup. He's going to have tough matchups, whether you get Boston, whether you get Florida. He's going to have to play on the other side of the puck too. You need him healthy. I think the biggest thing you look at right now is that Four Nations Cup too. And you say, I think if he's not even close, there's no chance he plays in it. Yes, it's disappointing. Yes, we want to play internationally, but winning a Stanley Cup for the Toronto Maple Leafs is number one priority. So I think getting him healthy, do whatever you need to do, treat him like a superstar. And I think you have to take it out of his hands too, right? Because he's going to want to play. He's a competitor. You make sure he's healthy and ready to go before he steps back on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Hey, Hut's brought it up there, the Four Nations, and I kind of want to throw it out there just and get your quick thoughts on it because I kind of got like shit on the other day bringing this up in the After Dark show. Do you think there's an element here of like they won't LTIR him? This is like just going galaxy brain, but they won't LTIR him because he wants to play the Four Nations and they're trying to be respectful of that. Like this is not anything I know. I want to make sure that that's clear because people in the chat watching are going to be like this idiot. But I mean, it's something I thought about where I'm like, this is coming up quickly. Like this is not March or farther away. This is in February here. He's going to want to play internationally. Are they just trying to be respectful? Like we're not going to LTIR you so you can get yourself to the Four Nations. You can play there because like I think that's a ridiculous thing to have happen if that's the case.
I just genuinely think they don't really know how to tackle this injury, right? Like even the way everything broke down and, again, how rarely do you see somebody go overseas and nobody hears about or talks about, then all of a sudden the breaking news story comes out and he's in Munich, Germany? Like, I don't know. And we've been covering this team long enough, guys, where it's like expect the unexpected. When they say day to day, it can be month to month. The guy could be out for 17 years. It could be on Roby Island. You just don't know. And that's more so what concerns me, guys, about this story is we really don't know. Like Craig Berube, similar to Sheldon Keefe, not disclosing much. I mean, Rosie and Huts, you played in the NHL. The PR training behind all this. Nobody's going to say anything. But I won't lie, and I brought this up on Leafs Morning Take, Rosie. Remember when I was like, Morgan Riley addressed it as a serious injury? I think that's the first time in my recollection the word serious has been used attached to Auston Matthews' injury. And Rosie, that concerns me. I'll be honest about it.
Yeah, and I don't think that the conversations they're having, I mean, hindsight's 2020. You can look back and say, oh, maybe you shouldn't have came in and played that, but nobody knows what's going to happen. No one is in his body. Like Huts mentioned, he's a competitor. He wants to get out there, taking enough time on. He's getting heat in the media. They found out he's in Germany. I feel like I'm definitely better than I was. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play. I think I can do it. And it's going to keep getting better as I play. And maybe that doesn't come to fruition. Nobody knows that at the time, but I just picture them sitting on the training table, trainers, doctors around. I don't think the word, what about Four Nations Cup? I don't think that even comes into the conversation. I don't think they care about that. They're the Maple Leafs. I don't think Auston brings it up. When you're sitting in the Maple Leafs training room and you're talking to the Maple Leafs doctors, you're talking about the Maple Leafs and you're not talking about your dick around tournament down the road. Everyone knows that's there, but I think it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And no one's saying, well, we should probably change our plan because of the Four Nations Cup. I just don't believe that. When you're in that room, it's all about the Maple Leafs. And I think that whatever decision they decide has got to be the right one for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I agree. And I played with guys that made Olympic teams and they don't even talk about it, right? It's almost like a congrats and then you're back to business, right? There's so much pressure. But my example of this would be like the Jack Eichel scenario I went through when I was in Buffalo, right? I think that relationship was a lot different than what Auston has with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I think that is why you're seeing him go to Germany. That's why you're seeing him do these other treatments to get himself healthy, because nowadays players have a unique way of viewing their body and the way they take care of themselves, not just dealing with, the medical staff of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I think they're being open-minded to it, but at the same time trying to walk that line to do what's best for Auston Matthews. Because trust me, their players now have way more confidence in themselves than what they do. Like Rosie, when we came in the league, we were like, hey, whatever you need me to do, I'll do, right? We just fell in line because we wanted to fit in. Where younger players now have a lot more confidence and they have teams surrounding them, their own treatment, their own people, where they're getting guidance outside of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I feel like they're just trying to make sure that relationship is fluid so they know everything that goes on with Auston.
And to Zach's point, I do think this is a polarizing moment early on in the tenure as captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs for Auston Matthews. I'm almost at a point where it's like, hey, you've got to make a determination, man. If you can't go, you got to raise your hand and be like, I can't play. Sorry, States. I want to be there. But the Toronto Maple Leafs, I want to win a Stanley Cup. I almost want to hear that from the mouth of Auston Matthews. Come out and say, hey, I'm not going to the Four Nations. My mind is on the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's on winning a Stanley Cup. You're probably not going to get that, but I honestly think this is like a sneaky big decision that they have to make in the next couple of weeks, just considering he can't stay healthy, hasn't stayed healthy all season long. So we'll see how it breaks down from that standpoint. Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.